Happy solstice, everybody! Whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, we're all united by the light of the sun. Every day, we are connected through the magnificence and the brilliance of this vital life force energy, which makes everything possible for every single one of us and for all of our relations on the earth. So happy and so grateful for every solstice where millions of people on our planet recognize the significance of the solstice, irregardless of religion, ethnicity, philosophical ideas, lack of religion. This is a significant day. It brings all of us together. We're either tilted all the way towards the sun with lots of time in our day to play, to pray, to dance, to work, to love, whatever it is that we're doing. We have all the time in the day to do it. Whether we are tilted all the way away from the sun with all the time in the night to go inward, to be in our cave, to reflect, to feel. These solstices are powerful, beautiful times. And I am so happy today to celebrate the sun and to come on here and share a little bit about my thoughts, what it is I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I'm here to align with the sun. The sun is the magnetic, vital life force energy that makes everything grow here on earth, that makes everything live, that makes everything prosper. And it's so important to me to align here with the sun, align with that which creates prosperity, align with that which creates growth, align with that which gives nourishment, align with that which dispels ignorance, align with that which dispels illusion, all from the light of the sun. So, where is the sun today? The sun today is just barely entering constellation Gemini. It's just barely approaching the star Propus on the left leg of the first twin of Gemini. The sun is directly overhead constellation Orion, which is not recognized as a zodiacal constellation, but absolutely influences all of us here on Earth. So the sun is just barely entering Gemini. The sun just came from Taurus, traveled over Orion, is just barely approaching the brilliance of the star Propus and the brilliance of the stars in the zodiacal constellation of Gemini. So how it works when the sun passes through these constellations is it's a lot like the ocean. The astro is a lot like the ocean. It's fluid. You don't just leave, sun doesn't just leave Taurus and boom, is right there in Gemini. No, the sun is still receiving the brilliance and the luster of the stars from Taurus, depending on how bright they are, as it travels over Orion, receiving from the bottom of the ecliptic the brilliance of the stars from Orion. So the sun's receiving that energy of Orion, that divine masculine. And as it's moving into Gemini, it receives the brilliance and the luster of the stars of Gemini. Okay, so the sun does this movement throughout the ecliptic and receives information and influence from the different stars depending on how bright they are, how brilliant they are, what degree of luster they have. So it's not like it just jumps from one to the next. Not like we're in all this heavy Taurus energy, now boom, we're in all this heavy Gemini energy. It's much more fluid and subtle. So it just went into Gemini, so we're still receiving Orion energy. We had our new moon in Taurus, so we're still having the tone for the month is still the Taurus tone of productivity, purpose, resourcefulness, um, some rest still, even though there's other things that are making us not gonna rest here pretty soon. I'll get to that. Um, but yeah, that's generally how it works. And, um, you know, how Western and Vedic see the constellations is they see them as all an equal 30 degrees, but how the International Astronomical Union sees it is not as each an equal 30 degrees. And how I see it when I look up at the stars, and how you see it when you look up at the stars, whether you know it or not, they're not all an equal 30 degrees. We don't exactly know why it was relayed that way, probably just for tidiness, but really each zodiac has its own unique degrees, its own unique length. That's why in real sky astrology, not every season isn't exactly 30 days, because the sun will get through Cancer relatively quickly because it's really small. It'll get through Scorpio very quickly because it's small. It'll take a very long time, over a month, to get through Virgo because Virgo is very big. So these are the differences in the astrology. I have been studying and have been trained in Vedic, classical Vedic astrology, and Jyotish is an incredibly divine science. Oh my goodness, it's so deep. Um, the only thing about it is it adheres to those 30-degree measurements, and that's not how it really is. So when I give my astrological reports, I'm going to be using the nakshatras as they are in real time and space, not as they are with an equal 30 degree. Okay, I know that's probably too much for some of you, but hopefully some of you appreciate that. And if you don't, well, that's whatever. So we have lots of very occult energy going on this week, very mystical energy, because Moon, Venus, and Mars are all in Nakshatra Ashlesha, so it's very sexy vibes. Ashlesha is a mystic. Ashlesha is ruled by the Nagas. Ashlesha is a hermaphrodite energy, you know, in the Hawaiian way of life. Those who are hermaphrodite, or not hermaphrodite, but mahu, those who are bisexual, are more available to the spiritual realms because they're not stuck in one gender. They go both ways. And that is kind of one of the earmarks of Ashlesha, is a very mystical, non-boxed energy. So this is a great time to do Kundalini yoga. This is a great time to make love. This is a great time to make ritual, a great time to make ceremony, a great time to practice occult sciences. Venus does move into Leo on Thursday, really spicing up our love life, really deepening our communion to our partner, really solidifying our commitment and our loyalty, and just really like loving the partnership. And even in our friendships, it's going to be a really fun time for friendships, really fun time for relating with our family, and just having like a heart-centered conversation, especially with the sun being in Gemini and Venus and Mars moving into Leo. We can really have some heart-to-hearts with our closest relations at this time. And then the moon will also move into Leo on Thursday, so we'll be really thinking about leading with love, and having fun and making plans for social activities. And we'll be talking a lot with our relations. And Mars and Chiron are going to be in a beautiful trine on Thursday. So this really puts our Mars in a really good and healthy place, especially for people who have difficult Mars placements, like if Mars is combust or if Mars is debilitated, which can create violent thoughts, violent nature, anger, jealousy, lust, all those lower vibrational aspects of Mars. For anybody with those types of Mars placements, it can be a really hard life. And so when Chiron trines it, it really heals that and kind of helps to put Mars in a better place. And for those of us, for all of us, it will help to just kind of reassimilate us to our willpower, us to our determination and our assertiveness and our ability to forge ahead and get things done. Speaking about forging ahead and getting things done, we have two kind of opposing energies. So we have Jupiter and Rahu conjunct in Aries, which is really getting shit done and kind of just getting things put out there because there is such a fire to get things done. And then there's Saturn, which is moved retrograde, which is really going to slow the process of getting things done down and really going to demand from us that we are correct, that we have dotted our I's and crossed our T's, and that things are as close to perfect as they can possibly be. Saturn retrograding in Shata Bishak of Aquarius with the Sun in Gemini, really be mindful of your communication, please. Friends, everybody, me too, all of us, put a double filter, triple filter, quadruple filter on. Shata Bishak has a tendency to just kind of say things that pop into their minds, to their community, which can hurt feelings and can even make people want to take time away. Shata Bishak also, Shata Bishak energy is a very trusted energy because it is the energy of 100 healers. And so they gather a lot of information about the community because they are such trusted individuals. So sometimes Shata Bishak can kind of tell other people's business to others. So with Saturn retrograde in Shata Bishak and Sun in Gemini, be mindful that you're not disclosing information of your community members to other members in your community. And remember how good it feels to be a trusted person and how blessed it is to be a trusted person, and to try to keep that position in this life if you can, and watch it during this time. Yeah, so this is a very general overview for this week, and what a powerful time it is and has been, very profound and very internal as well, around the time of the new moon, especially on Saturday and Sunday. Yes, and our sun currently is sitting at the silver gate of man, which is very profound, and that is why we're all arriving in our bodies. We are all becoming more embodied, becoming more grounded, becoming more aware of our missions and purposes, and really embodying and showing up in that new energy of our future selves and who we are and what we came to do. And yeah, the new moon happened there at the gate of man, at the silver gate of man, and the sun is currently at the silver gate of man, which sits across from the galactic center, which is the point which our galaxy rotates around, the huge massive black hole in constellation Ophiuchus. And Ardra is the nakshatra that spans the silver gate of man, has the ability to create or dispel tragedy and storms. So may we all dispel tragedy in our lives and dispel misery in our lives by stepping into the truth of who we are, embodying our true energy, and forging on our path. with love and with consistency and with certainty. Yeah. So much love, so many blessings on this solstice. All my love. Aloha.